Today we're going to do a 20-minute intermediate difficulty gymnastics rings workout that you can do as a follow along with me for the upper body. We're going to start it off with a warm-up consisting of 4 exercises, 40 seconds each for 1 round, with some scapular retractions first up. So if you lean back on these, you can bend your knees slightly, and what we're going to do is we're going to retract the shoulders back and down and then relaxing out. So we're keeping straight arms and we're just pulling the shoulder blades together and down, engaging those mid and lower traps and rhomboids. If you've ever done a cat-cow in yoga, it's a similar action with the upper back, but we're keeping the lower back locked in fixed. So just retracting back, squeezing, trying to keep that straight arm position. You can do this with straight legs as well if the surface you're on isn't too slippy. Next, we'll be moving on to some angel wings. So if you turn yourself around, and we want to make nice big, almost like a snow angel action with the arms. I'm doing this in a slight lunge position so that I can keep the chest under tension the whole time, keeping a stretch. Really want to draw the arms back behind you. Imagine you're going to touch your little fingers together behind your body and then reaching overhead. I can control the pressure of this front leg, adding as much or as little stretch into that as I like. Next, we're going to move onto a face pull. So if you spin yourself around, you're going to be fairly upright for these. You're basically going to pull the hands up and back, making a W shape with your arms and torso. And imagine you're trying to tap your knuckles behind you, leading up and out. Nice high elbow position, using the rear delts and those upper back posture muscles. The key is not to be too horizontal. You want a fairly upright position on this. Really simple next. Just circling the arms forwards for 20 seconds, and then we'll change direction and do backwards for 20 seconds. Just a good way to get some blood flowing through the shoulders and some oil released into the joints. And change direction. Okay, so we've got a short break now. Get the rings ready. We're going to start with some pike push-ups. So you need a fairly low ring position for these. We're going to be doing 6 exercises, 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off. We're going to be doing that for 3 rounds in total, starting with these pike push-ups. So this is going to be almost like a shoulder press position. So if you start hips high on your tiptoes, slight unlock of the knees, and we're going to come down almost making a tripod shape between your head and your hands. So dropping down and then pushing back up. Try and stay up on those tiptoes. I'm trying to keep a flat back as much as possible, and rather than turning it into a chest press, I'm trying to keep nice and high with the hips and low with the chest, making sure it's a shoulder press. As far as the ring position goes, don't flare your elbows out to the sides. Draw them in back towards your pockets. Try and stay nice and vertical. Always finish your rep. Don't worry too much about the timer. And pressing through. Okay, next we're going to go inverted row. So zip these rings up to a more mid position. For the inverted row, I'm going to do it with bent legs. But if you've got a nice surface, you can do it with straight legs. Pulling up, engaging those back muscles. I like to put a quarter turn on the ring, so start with a double overhand grip. And then as I pull, I'm going to rotate the rings just 1 quarter turn into that neutral position. As I said, you can do it with straight legs if you want, but if you're doing it with bent legs, try and keep a straight angle from the knee all the way up to the shoulder the whole time. Great job. Okay, moving next, we're gonna do some press ups. So you're gonna want these a little bit lower for the push ups. I realize these are quite short intervals, but we're aiming for fairly high difficulty exercises. So picking fairly low ring positions. So dropping through the rings, nice and deep, pressing back up. Again, we're going to do a quarter turn, so very similar to the inverted row. This is just the horizontal pressing version, whereas the inverted rows are horizontal rowing exercise. Drop the chest nice and deep through the rings, pressing back. Try and keep the elbows tucked in. Big common mistake is people flare the elbows out to the sides. Always finish your rep, so don't worry about the timer for the last rep. Finish it off. And now we're going to go hanging reverse crunch. Now you can zip the rings all the way to the top, or if you've got a bar, you could just hold onto the bar and leave the rings down low. But assuming that you might be on a tree, I'm going to do it like this for you. So you're going to reverse crunch and then slowly back down. Reverse crunch and down. So we're tucking up into a ball. Don't worry if you can't get your knees all the way up, but if you can, try and get them down, up as high as you can, making contact with knees on triceps. Now you could bring your legs underneath like this. That's fine, it depends what height rings you've got. All right, bringing these back down again to just past the halfway mark, because we're going to do some dips. And if you really struggle with dips, then you might want to take them low and do the leg assisted variation, which I'll pop up as well. So dropping down, nice deep rep, pressing to the top. Now, I realize not everyone is going to be able to do 30 seconds of continuous dips, especially with this more advanced variation. So maybe just do as many as you can in the time, and then you can get a little extra rest ready for the last of the 6 exercises. Okay, ring chin-ups now. So zipping these back up to the top. Again, if you've got a bar, you don't need to do this on the rings. You could just do chin-ups on the bar. I'm going to assume some of you don't. You're doing it on a tree, so I'll show you how to do it on the rings. Now, if you can't do full chin-ups, you can do that negative variation that I'll pop up on the screen, where you're just doing the lowering phase only. If you can, do the full ones, or at least do as many reps as you can in 30 seconds and take the extra rest for any reps you can't do. All right, much needed break now, especially after those last 2 challenging ones. So you got 40 seconds off, so bring the rings down to that pike press up position. You can see why the intervals are set at 30 seconds after those. Doing any more than 30 seconds of chin-ups or ring dips is going to be very difficult. So 1 down, 2 rounds to go, and then that'll be today's workout complete. So get ready for the pike push-ups, tiptoes, high hips, low chest, dropping through the rings, pressing back up. If you've got a box and you want to make it even more challenging, you could put your feet on top of a box, making it even more of a vertical press. Try and keep the tailbone lifted high. Inverted row, so halfway up with the rings. Okay, dropping them lower for the press ups. As I said, if you've got a bar, you just hang on the bar. So I'll do that for this set. You don't have to keep moving the rings up and down necessarily. It depends what kind of setup you've got. As you can see, the bar's a bit higher, so I can go full extension with the legs. If you had the rings high enough, you could do the same with the rings, just fully locking down. I try not to use too much momentum. So this is a strict hanging reverse crunch. It doesn't matter if you can't quite get as high with your knees, just do your best to try and curl your tail under at least a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to put these higher for the dips, but you might be opting for those leg assisted ones. And these are fine for a few reps, but for a timed interval, very challenging. So elbows back, leaning forwards at the bottom, pressing, slight external rotation at the top. Oh, glad that set's over. Okay, I'm going to do chin-ups on the bar, but if you haven't got a bar, just zip the rings to the top for that high position. Again, chin-ups for 30 continuous seconds is going to be a challenge, but don't worry if you can't do the whole interval, just do what you can.
If you're enjoying this workout and are ready to start taking your training more seriously, try out my TPT virtual studio, where you can find loads of exclusive content not on YouTube, such as a 30-minute version of this workout, including extra sets and exercises, as well as a selection of longer calisthenics workouts. Check it out via the link in the video description after your workout.
If you're finding this easy, or at least you think you might have a little bit more left in you, I have got an advanced version of this, which you could try out. I'll link it in the description of this video for you to have a look at. And that's it, that's the workout complete. Here's a quick cool down stretch you can do right now if you're ready to finish. And if you've still got a little bit more energy, try this other calisthenics style workout. Let me know in the comments how did you find the workout, and I'll see you again soon for another one.